So I'm going to be talking about Zabo and tell you why we're building this project and what it can be used for. And this discussion is basically about the overflow of wallet providers and exchange providers and cryptocurrencies that we currently see. Our team is currently made up of 5 people, myself, and then Davi's here from Brazil. Will is from Toronto, and we got Alex out manning the table. Him and I are from Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. And we have varying degrees of experience in different industries, and we kind of came together over the last couple of years to develop in the crypto ecosystem. We launched Zabo as a product about a month and a half, 2 months ago. So we're pretty new product-wise. Before that, it was just a lot of different projects, service work and things like that. So the problem that we saw commonly across every project that we looked at and we've touched is this plethora of cryptocurrencies and wallets that we see now. We started off with Bitcoin and a single exchange, and as the technology has proven itself, we've of course seen it grow over time. And now today we have this really big expanse of cryptocurrencies and wallets. And so the problems that we're trying to solve, cryptocurrency wallets and applications are disconnected for the most part. And this is probably the most difficult problem for developers, because it's not just that there's a lot of options, because maybe a lot of options are good, but none of these options interface with each other very much. Even at the level 1 protocol layer, you've got Bitcoin and Ethereum, disconnected. And we've got atomic swaps that are making those things a little bit more accessible, I guess, to each other in a decentralized way. But for the most part, the wallets themselves don't talk to each other. They each have their own interface that's unique to the other. And so it requires a lot of manual work. There's decisions that have to be made by the designers. So the idea is we can do a dApp and we can commit 100% onto the Ethereum ecosystem. And so we'll inject Web3 or Ethers and get MetaMask, and we're happy with that. And that's a design decision that you have to make. But that only gets you a very small subset of potential crypto users. We know 80% of cryptocurrency is held in Bitcoin. And then beyond that, we have a lot of new technologies coming up. We've got Cosmos, we've got Polkadot, we've got Ethereum, Bitcoin, of course, are the mainstays. And then you've got tokens kind of spread out among these chains. So it's a very hard problem for developers, because if you want to capture a large market, I feel like every time I talk to a new crypto project on Ethereum, Bitcoin's always on the roadmap. But it never quite gets there. I haven't really seen anybody meaningfully involve crypto in a user system. So what I want to do is I actually want to build an application with you guys. It's called the Crypto Club, and kind of show you the power of what we've done with Zabo. The workshop app is available at this repository if you guys are interested in coding with me. The GitHub is Zabo API, and then there's the Zabo workshop app. And what I want to show you guys, as whoever sets up is going to do that, is here's Awesome Crypto Club. So this is what we're going to demonstrate. This is what we're going to build. And the idea is we have a crypto club. And the only way to join is if you own cryptocurrency. The only way you can prove ownership of cryptocurrency is by connecting a wallet. We also have smaller communities within the crypto club. And of course, to join those, you have to own the crypto that division of the club represents. So what we can see here is we have different clubs. So we've got Bitcoin Cash, and then we have Ethereum. We've got 2 ERC20 tokens, Spank Chain and Status, and then we've got Atom on here. So this is the type of application that we're envisioning for something like Zabo, where you need to access the wider crypto community and not just be isolated to one chain and one type of application. So the premise is easy. The user can connect a wallet by simply connecting the button here. you'll see that it already recognizes my wallet, and I've got 0.7 Ether. It shows that I've got Ether in the wallet. I can click on that to donate to the club, and I'll go ahead and donate 0.1, and then I log the transaction here, and you'll see here's my transaction object. I get the amount and way. I know who it went to. It came from me. Here's the transaction ID. This is actually done over Rinkeby. And what I wanted to show you on this real quick is I actually operated this completely decentralized. So I have a fully synced node. So I didn't do this on the Wi-Fi, and actually it hasn't fully synced on here at all. I fired it up right before the workshop to kind of show you guys. So Zabo API has a dashboard registration system where we issue API keys for server-based applications. And then we also have a client SDK where you can put a client ID and identify yourself. With that said, I'm going to show you that next. But what I wanted to show you first is that Zabo operates completely decentralized. So a user can show up with a node and run it, and Zabo API will talk to that node. It will also talk to Coinbase's custodial API. It'll also talk to Binance's API. It'll also talk to MetaMask. It'll also talk to Ledger. So all of these wallets, and there's no change in lines of code. So what I just did there with my Ethereum node, we're going to rebuild that application using using the regular client SDK, and we're going to connect through MetaMask. And you'll see that there was actually no change. And then I'll also connect to an exchange real quick and show you guys a connection to Bitcoin and all that. So that is, here I'll show you this. If anybody wants to get on here, there's the workshop again. So I'm going to go ahead and start so once you pull the Git repository, npm install, you'll get all the necessary packages, and then npm run start. It'll pull up our base application here. And where we're going to code in, for the most part, is if you go into source, not sure why I have Git expanded there, go into source, go into scripts and index.js, and this is where we're going to build our code. Start off with Zabo is initialized with a client ID, and then you specify the environment. Pull this down a little bit. Is that visible to everybody, or is it need to be a bit bigger? Let me close that up. Is that good? All right. Actually, probably don't need this either. All right, so we have full documentation at zabo.com/docs also. And the first step that you do is you put in a client ID and an environment. If you're operating in decentralized mode, the client ID and the environment are done away with, and you put decentralized in here in true, like this. And then you put a use node key in here, and then you put the URL to the node that's running on your machine. And that'll get you in decentralized mode. And then you can do away with the client ID and the environment. That's all detailed in the documentation. To get access to exchanges and other wallets and things like that, you do have to establish Zabo with a client ID. So we call this a init function, and that gets you the Zabo object. And the Zabo object is what carries the entire interface. With the interface, you can get balances, transaction history, and send crypto. Again, those three functions, when you call zabo.transactions.send, you identify the currency, Bitcoin, and you define the amount. The wallet that's connected already knows what address it's from, and if it's an exchange account, it will translate it into that exchange's API. If it's a MetaMask, it'll send it to MetaMask. If it's a direct connection with a node, it'll translate it into that node's bytecode that it needs and then send it. All you have to do is call these three functions, and you have access to all of that. So what we do here is to instantiate a wallet connection, we call zabo.connect. Once we have it initialized with our information. So we have a click handler here on the button. This button has an ID of connect. So we're selecting that button and we're adding a click event listener. So when that button is clicked, we're going to call zabo.connect. And then what we give you is an on-connection event. So when this function is called, the user is taken to Zabo's connection widget if we're using the connection widget. If it's the the node itself, as you saw, it was just an immediate connection with the unlocked key store. So on connection, we get an account object. And then the first step that we'll do with the account object is we will create a text node, right? So we'll do document.create text node. And this node is going to say, congratulations, we see that you own X amount of cryptocurrencies. So how do we figure out that X? When the account connects, we give you a currencies array, and in that currencies array, you get all the currencies that are being held in whatever wallet was connected. So we'll do account.currencies.length on that. And the length of that array is the number of currencies. Each object in the array gives you the currency ticker, so it'll be like BTC, ETH, SPANC, SNT, and it'll give you the balance. And that will hold true for whatever wallet's connected. And basically the power is you don't have to have an opinion on what wallet's connected anymore with this. You can accept them all. And so we'll create a div here. Document.create create element, right? And then we're gonna, yeah, that's right. Because then we're gonna attach this as a child node to the welcome section of the display. We'll append the node, and then the member welcome, append child, we will append the div. So it doesn't really have anything to do with Zabo. We just basically created a text node for that. We attached it to a div, and then we gave the div over to the member welcome. So now we have a connection. So if we reload this, we should be able to connect a wallet. And what happens when a user selects connect? This is what the Zabo connect function does for them, is it pulls up all of the wallets that they want to connect. So this is if your user doesn't show up with a decentralized running node. They can select any of these. So I'll select Binance. They're given information on what the application's asking for. In the dashboard, you can spell out which scopes you want with the connection. So you can say, I just want to read balances and transaction history, or you can also attach, sending crypto. Some of the exchange accounts can't transfer crypto outbound. All the connections we have right now can transfer crypto inbound. So if you want to send crypto into their custodial wallet, you can make that connection, make that happen. Binance is one where we can move crypto out of, but on the server side only. So there's a caveat to that. So we're showing 13 currencies. I don't think I logged the, no, I didn't log the account. But we're showing 13 currencies in this connected Binance account. None of them are, well, actually, we haven't connected these buttons yet. So there's that. So, and then you can go back in and you can connect in any other one, and then you'll get the currencies out of that wallet. All right, so then the next step we're going to do is we're going to activate those club buttons. So we're going to run a for step in here. And then we've got these club buttons, which are these down here. And what we're going to do is we're going to iterate through the account and find the currencies that are in the account. If any of those currencies in the account match what we need for these subdivisions of the club, we'll go ahead and activate that. So we got the club buttons in there. And then what we'll do is I think we'll write it if account currencies. Yeah, we'll do some. See, And what the sum is a function that'll iterate through the array. As soon as it finds whatever it's looking for, it'll immediately start the loop over, so you don't have to put anything in there to make that happen. So if the currency object, currency, which is the ticker in there, equals the club buttons I.id, then we are going to make the button active. And I'll go ahead and log this so we can see it on the next one. I believe that's what we need to do. So what we're doing now is we're iterating through the account currencies. We're seeing if one of the currencies match one of the button's IDs, and if it does, we're going to make that button active. So we can go back through, and let me reload here. I missed something on here. What's up? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Got it. All right. No? The console will give us a clue. Count is not defined. What's up? Oh, yeah, I gotta log it inside the thing, that's right. Dope. Cool. All right, so now we're gonna connect. We'll do Huobi on this one. And boom. So in the Huobi account, we've got Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. The iterator found those buttons in there. And since I logged the account, I'll go ahead and show you guys. So here's the account object that you get back from Zabo. We have the address here as a UID because the address for this account is actually the external account ID for the Huobi account. And then we got a list of all the currencies that are in that account. What we can't do, though, is from the client side, send crypto from the exchange account. So if we're sending from a custodial wallet, that has to be enacted from the server side. Client side can handle Node, can also handle self-custody accounts like MetaMask and Ledger, but a server connection is required for any, it's the same interface, just it has to be from a different environment, of course, because we have to have those server credentials set up. And yeah, so I guess the final thing, let me pull this up real quick, make sure we're good on what else we're doing here. I want to show you guys the donation stuff real quick. Okay, yeah, let me, let's add this real quick. So on the domain button, donate button, we're gonna add event listener. We're gonna click, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna zabo.transactions.send. And we're going to do, in the send function, we define the currency, which is the selected club. These are kind of pre-built variables that I've already built for this. To address is going to be the club's address, which we already define once we select a club. And then we're going to do the amount, which is the donate value. mount input. Right. Oh, yeah. So in the input, I changed it to donate value. And then we will go ahead and just log the 2x. Boom. All right, so same interface, same thing we've been doing. Let's hope this pans out. We will connect MetaMask on this one. And all right, so MetaMask, we've got Ethereum, we've got Spank token, we've got status. We'll click on the status club. We'll donate 10 status tokens. Boom. Think probably didn't, yeah, I didn't donate. So we'll go through, MetaMask will ask us to confirm it, and there's our transaction. Again, so that in itself is not the impressive feature. It's the fact that we haven't changed the line of code, and then I can go and connect to OKX account. My user can bring their custodial wallet in the same application. We can recognize those currencies. We can connect to a local node and any wallet in between there. And so again, what this does for the developer is you don't, again, have to have an opinion on the technology being connected to your application. It can just take whatever it is. So to get started, Zabo.com, we've got a dashboard there. You can register. Again, if you just want to pull the SDK down and connect it decentralized, that's available. And we have docs available, quick start app. If you need to chat with us, we're in the Waterloo Discord. We have our own Discord channels also. And just feel free to reach out. And that's all I got. Thanks.